Hey everybody, once again it is Henry Steele. And I'm doing the third video now in a series I'm calling Let the Market Show You. In this series I'm just showing you quick and easy ways to use the market itself to show you price levels and points in time to anticipate changes in trend or price levels of support and resistance. In the first video I showed you a quick method of price level, support, and resistance. Second video, I showed you a quick method of anticipating changes of trend and points in time. Well, in this one, I'm going to give you another method for for anticipating points in time of changing trends. And remember, trying to be up, down, or sideways. So we want to keep that in mind. And when failures happen, they tend to happen at the halfway point. Now, this one's actually mathematical in nature. Okay, it's very easy to do as long as you have a calculator or if you're good at math. And all you have to do is count the number of bars or candles between lows or highs. And then you take that number and you square it. So let me show you some examples here. And this is the S&P 500 daily chart, same chart I used in the last video. Now let's go ahead and measure, like for instance, from here to here, we see that there's 16 bars. So we take 16 and square it or multiply the number by itself, and we get 256. Now we're not going to go 256 bars out into the future. We could, but we don't have the data for that. What we're going to do is float the decimal so that we have a 2-digit number. Our goal is to have a 2-digit number with this method. And here we have 25 and a half when we float the decimal. So all we have to do is measure 25 to 26 candles into the future from the last point. And we see right here that 25 is right here and 26 is right here. So 25 is right there, 26 is right there, and then we get a nice little change in trend there for a couple days. Just a retracement there. Another thing we can do is go from this low to this low. This gives us 8 bars. Excuse me. 8 times 8, of course, is 64. Now, like I said, we're going for a 2-digit number. We could use 6.4. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half right there. That gives us, it's close to right there. We can also go 64 into the future. Let's do that, because that is a 2-digit number. 62, 63, and 64 right there. We get this little top right here that leads to a sideways megaphone, I guess, expanding triangle right there. Let's delete that. We can also measure from this low to this low as an example, 19 bars. Of course, 19 squared is 361. Very popular on the square of 9. Anyway, 361 turns into 36, and just a bit of change here. So we go 36 bars into the future, and we're getting this little pop-up right there, this little false break to the upside. So you can consider that a failure, which would be roughly the halfway point, not exactly. Or you can consider it a single day trend change, which is kind of key, really. And we can measure all the way from here to right here. There's a good example of a long term. 68 times 68 gives us 4,624. So we want to go down to 46 and a quarter. Then measure it from right here. 46 and a quarter kind of comes right there. And that is, I guess we would consider that a failure, but it is the halfway point of the sideways move right there before we get a bit of a dip down and then a move up there. Like I said in the last video, this couple months right here is just terrible for trying to swing trade because there's no real volatility there except intraday. And delete all that. We can go for some tops also. We can go from this top to this top as an example. 34 times 34 gives us 1,156. So we go for 11 and a half. And 9, 10, and 11 would be right here, and 11 and a half would be in between those two. So it's a nice catch right there. And for that matter, you can go from top to bottom, just like this. 21 bars. 21 times 21 gives us 44.1. So we go from there 44.1, and interestingly enough, we land pretty much in that same spot right there. Yeah, I guess you could consider it a very, very minor top. Then as it moves down here for a few days, maybe 10 or 15 points. So anyway, I'm sure by now you've gotten the idea of what can be done. 13 bars times 13 bars is 16.9, or 17 bars into the future. 13, 16, and 17. You get this minor top right here. So I'm sure you figured it out by now, and you can test it out in any market you have. And remember, the basic idea that you're looking for is a 2-digit number. So you're looking for a number of days or hours or weeks or whatever in the 2-digit range. So you can test this out in your market, see if it's anything you want to use. And if so, awesome. If not, then that's fine too. So until next time, this is Henry Steele.